Diana and Sue and Rebecca and all of those. Dawn Staley as a player. Where does it go? Can it continue to climb, and will it climb on the back of now Paige Beckers?
Caitlyn Clark, this new league, is panicking out after losing their biggest marketing asset for a 9-figure contract. The Golden Girl of basketball recently revealed the outrageous $1 million contract offer she received from the Unmatched League. But the true surprise is that she turned it down without hesitation. We demonstrate how a plot twist.
She'll be the biggest female star ever because she can pull up from the parking lot.
She is a killer. She is stone cold.
Caitlyn, man, she's a phenomenon.
She's the best female collegiate player ever.
Caitlyn Clark is capable of magical things.
She's the most prolific scorer in the history of college basketball.
Kobe Bryant with a ponytail.
It is just awesome watching what she is doing and what she represents.
Her game speaks for itself.
She can just flat out play. When you can shoot, that travels.
However, when you're Caitlyn Clark, you don't just play basketball. You play chess with the entire sports industry. The rest of the world is talking about one question, though. Why did Clark decline a contract that would have doubled her WNBA salary? Was she rude? Or is there a more complex explanation that we don't know about?
For anyone questioning the Caitlyn Clark effect, we now have people wanting to watch golf because of her. We saw the kind of offer that Ice Cube made to Caitlyn to play in the Big Three. That is $5 million to play 3 months.
Before I respond to these queries, let me clarify that Caitlyn Clark declined the $1 million offer because she is above it. This isn't arrogance. Rather, it's self-awareness. She didn't decline it because she is lazy, unmotivated, or afraid of a new challenge. The new league may be revolutionary for women's sports, but to someone like Caitlyn, it's just another initiative that falls short of her expectations. She knows exactly what she brings to the table, and she won't settle for less than she deserves. Consider it. Caitlyn Clark just finished a year that changed the definition of what it means to be a famous athlete. She did more than simply play basketball. She improved the sport. Her presence alone helped the WNBA reach all-time highs in terms of attendance, ticket sales, and retail sales. She elevated women's basketball to a level never seen before thanks to her incredible exploits with the Indiana Fever, which transformed a faltering organization into a formidable contender. Not only does Caitlyn change the atmosphere in which she plays, but she also has a significant impact on the sport as a whole. For example, a $1 million contract for 9 weeks of 3v3 basketball is adorable, but it doesn't even begin to capture her value.
And I'm so happy for her to get the $28 million.
For a moment, let's discuss the Unmatched League. On paper, it seems like a dream short season. High compensation and a structure meant to challenge the established quo. But there's a catch: it is not necessary for Caitlyn Clark to establish oneself in a prestigious exhibition league. Although exciting, the 3v3 format isn't her arena. Caitlyn thrives in full-court competitions against the world's top players in front of bright lights. She isn't interested in appearing on a reality show. Instead, she is focused on the big picture, leading her team to a WNBA championship, expanding the sport internationally, and leaving a legacy that goes well beyond basketball.
Caitlyn Clark snags another honor. She's made the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Clark, who is just 22 years old, is the only professional women's basketball player on this list.
Additionally, while the Unrivaled League is congratulating itself for paying the highest average salaries in women's sports, let's not fool ourselves. They weren't giving Caitlyn that money out of altruism. Rather, they wanted her because she is a marketing gold mine. League President Alex Bazel essentially acknowledged it when he referred to her as an outlier who brings numbers translation. We need you to make this league relevant without her. Without her, the Unrivaled League is just a shiny new experiment lacking its brightest star. Caitlyn's decision is more than simply a personal one. It's a declaration that she won't be treated like a gimmick. The WNBA already pays her $338,500 for 4 years, and let's face it, a glorified 3v3 league isn't good enough. Caitlyn Clark is here to dominate, inspire, and lead. She has no interest in participating in a novelty act.
higher than the NBA. So I was like, oh, what's she going to get paid? Because finally, you can get a real paycheck. And then I saw it and I was like, this can't be right, because this is what it is. In the first year, Caitlyn Clark will earn $76,535.
But let's not overlook the fact that declining the $1 million was the true power move here. Caitlyn Clark has demonstrated that her worth extends well beyond money. She already earns more from endorsements than she will from playing in the WNBA or the Unmatched League. Companies like Nike, Gatorade, and Beats by Dre are lining up to collaborate with her because they recognize what the league seems to ignore. She is the future of basketball, and her influence extends beyond women's sports. She is breaking down barriers everywhere. Let's also look at her justification for declining the offer. On the surface, Caitlyn gave the excuse that she needed to rest, which seems like a tactful response. But let's take a closer look.
She doesn't need to play for that whack job. She should just buy Unrivaled. Exactly. Caitlyn gives that type of bag. Sissy probably isn't this vindictive, but if it was me, if they wanted me outside, I'll demand a full retraction and apology from Gino for his comments on the Dan Patrick Show, which we'll get to that in a hot second.
In actuality, she has been surviving on fumes for years in between NCAA tournaments. In addition to earning the right to take a break, Caitlyn knows that her time would be better spent preparing for the 2025 season, when she has bigger goals in mind, like winning a championship, something the Unrivaled League can offer, while the WNBA and the Unrivaled League are left reeling. Championship heartbreaks the WNBA draft and leading the Fever to their best season in almost 10 years. Caitlyn's absence serves as a stark reminder that the league needs her more than she needs them. They have created entire marketing campaigns around her and hailed her as the face of the sport, but they still can't seem to meet her where she is. While a $1 million contract may seem generous, for someone of Caitlyn's caliber, it's about respect, and declining the offer was her way of saying, I know my worth, and it's a lot more than what you're offering. Gina Clark also brought attention to Caitlyn Clark's decision, which also highlights a larger problem. The ongoing fight for fair compensation in women's sports has long forced athletes to choose between their financial security and their passion. Caitlyn Clark's decision to turn down the offer isn't just about her, it's a challenge to the system. She's making leagues, sponsors, and decision-makers reevaluate how they value female athletes, because the truth is that if you want the best, you have to pay for it, not just in cash, but also in opportunities, respect, and recognition. In January, the upstart, Unmatched League offered Caitlyn Clark more than $1 million for 10 weeks of work in Miami, with the goal of making her the face of their ambitious new project. This would have been a win-win situation. The deal would have been so lucrative it could have rivaled the largest contracts in women's sports history, but Caitlyn Clark said no. Thank you.
So Gino Auriemma talked about Caitlyn Clark again.
This was no ordinary offer. The Unmatched League, which was co-founded by WNBA legends Nafisa Collier and Breanna Stewart, was created to challenge the conventions of professional basketball, and it was the type of proposal meant to draw in a superstar, high pay, a brief season, and a 3x3 structure that appeals to fans. Many people dream of playing in the league, but Caitlyn isn't just any player. She has the kind of potential that makes clubs salivate. In fact, League President Alex Bazel acknowledged that anyone in our shoes would absolutely want Caitlyn. It's obvious that the data she provides are an anomaly. To put this in context, Clark is more than just a player. She is an occasion. Her ability to pass is amazing. Court vision and her incredible three-point range would have been designed just for the unmatched fast-paced 3x3 style. She is the ideal combination of speed and agility, shooting from deep, which further extends the court in this system. In an interview with Sarah Spain on Good Game, Bazel said that her inclusion would have immediately increased the league's legitimacy.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlyn was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark declined the $1 million offer because she believes she is worth even more for a player of her quality. It wasn't a lifeline, but rather a beginning point. But let's face it, it's not only about rest. Caitlyn was sought after by the professional league not only for her basketball prowess, but also for her marketability as a celebrity who attracts fans, buys tickets, and increases viewership. At the end of the day, Caitlyn Clark's value is determined by her impact rather than money. She has already altered the game and is only 22 years old. The league even contemplated giving her a complicated type deal that tied her pay to the league's expansion. Without her, the unmatched league will continue, but it won't be the same. Caitlyn Clark will continue to do what she does best, proving everyone wrong and making history while she's at it, because when you're Caitlyn Clark, you don't settle for anything less than greatness. The WNBA will continue to ride her coattails, but they'll need to step up if they want to keep her around for the long run.